You might have noticed that the global tech industry is, well, it's hitting the brakes. And the reason for it is something you would probably never guess. It's not some new market crash or a bug in the system. No, it's a gas. And today, we're going to break down how this one single element could literally bring our entire digital world to a screeching halt.
All right, to really get what's going on, you have to start right here with this quote: lifeblood. I mean, think about that word. You don't just throw that around. It means something is absolutely essential, non-negotiable. And in this case, it's the lifeblood for the most advanced tech we have. And then, this happened. Just a couple of months ago, that lifeblood, the supply was completely severed. Just like that, the tap was turned off. And that single event is what triggered this whole mess we're about to unpack.
This is what everyone is now calling the Helium Crisis. A conflict erupting in the Middle East has basically pulled back the curtain on this huge, hidden weakness in our global supply chain, something almost nobody was paying attention to until it was way too late.
Okay, so to really understand how serious this is, we have to talk about what helium actually is. Because let's be honest, when most of us hear the word helium, our minds go to one place. But its real job in the world, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, you've got the common idea of helium, party supplies, making your voice sound funny. But the reality is that helium is an absolute titan of industry. It is right at the heart of making the AI chips that power everything. It keeps life-saving MRI scanners running in hospitals. And yeah, it's even critical for launching rockets into space.
And here's the key, the why. What makes helium so special? Well, for one, it's non-renewable. We can't just make more of it. What we have is what we've got. It's also chemically inert. But the real kicker is its thermal conductivity. It's the best of any gas, which makes it absolutely irreplaceable for managing the crazy temperatures needed for high-tech manufacturing.
And this just shows you how deep its role goes. In those massive chip factories, it's used as a purge gas to create a perfectly clean, sterile environment. It's the only thing that can cool the machines that make our most advanced AI chips. And it cools the giant superconducting magnets in MRI machines down to almost absolute zero. Take helium away, and these things just stop working, period.
So this brings us from the science to the geopolitics. The problem isn't just that helium is crucial, it's where it comes from. And that's what has turned a supply issue into a full-blown global crisis. Just look at this number. About one-third of the entire planet's supply of helium comes from one single country, Qatar. That is a staggering concentration of a critical resource all in one spot. But wait, it gets even crazier. More than 95% of all that helium has to pass through one single, incredibly narrow shipping lane, the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, talk about putting all your eggs in one basket. This is the very definition of a fragile supply chain.
This table really just lays it all out in black and white. Qatar's global share is up to 35%. The main production facility there is offline, and the strait is blockaded. And the immediate result? The price of helium has just exploded, in some cases doubling in just a matter of weeks.
And let's be really clear about something. This is not some accident or a side effect. The blockade has effectively weaponized the world's helium supply. It's being used as a strategic lever to put immense pressure on the entire global tech sector. So, what happens when that first critical domino gets knocked over? Let's trace the ripple effect of this shortage, because it cascades from the factory floor all the way down to you and me.
And this is where it gets genuinely terrifying. You see, many of the world's top chip factories run on a just-in-time delivery system. We're talking about a 2-week clock that's now ticking. Once their current supply of helium is gone, that's it. Production doesn't just slow down, it stops cold.
And here's exactly how that chain reaction plays out. First, the supply gets cut off at the choke point, that's domino 1. Then, AI chip production grinds to a halt, domino 2. Next, our hospitals can't refill their MRI machines, which means critical medical scans get delayed. And the final domino? It hits all of us right in the wallet with global tech inflation. And that economic hit isn't some far-off idea. It's right around the corner. Analysts are already projecting that by the fall of this year, the price of consumer electronics, we're talking phones, laptops, even new cars, is set to jump by a staggering 15 to 20%, all because of this one gas. So, all of this brings us to a major inflection point, a crossroads. The world is now staring down a very stark choice, with two completely different futures ahead of us.
And these are basically the two options on the table. Option A is the best-case scenario. Diplomacy works, the strait reopens, and the supply chain slowly gets back to normal. But option B, well, that's what experts are calling a tech winter. A long, cold period where the conflict continues, shortages become the norm, and innovation basically freezes.
When you strip it all away, this entire crisis is a powerful, frankly scary reminder of a simple truth. Our modern world, the cloud, AI, all of it, it feels so intangible, so virtual, but it's all built on a very real and very fragile physical foundation. And the question this whole situation forces every single one of us to ask is, what happens when that foundation finally starts to crack?